Start out laying down, friends. So come on to your back, spread it out really broad all over the floor, smoosh it down. And you can spread your arms and legs out, take up a lot of space. And take some time just being here, inviting in really big breath. And we'll just start to transition into being really present with all the sensations of the breath. Tune into all the sensations of your body too. And as you do this, notice your mind kind of winding down, okay? And it may take some time, so give yourself a lot of graceful, compassionate time to allow your thoughts to begin to cycle toward focusing on breathing and just being still. And then you can just sit back and kind of observe and watch your thoughts as you notice your breath. Finding that biggest, deepest inhale that fills your whole front body and back body. The biggest, most complete exhale, all the air goes out. So finding a lot of really big movement here just with your breath. You're already working all the muscles of your torso. Using your powerful breathing muscles to pump in air and then clean your lungs out. So with proper awareness to just the act of breathing, breathing itself can turn into a really intentional movement. And the more you watch and pay attention to your breath, not just on your mat, but in your life when you're driving and chopping onions, okay? Watch your breath in too. So let's just bring in a little gentle movement. Start to stretch your arms up overhead and make a nice stretch here. Really long on the floor. Fingers reaching away from toes. Okay, make yourself as long as you can be. You might even grow an inch while you do this. Okay, and then make sure you still have a really long neck. So think of maybe scooching and kind of smashing your shoulder blades underneath your rib cage a good bit. And then draw your belly button downward toward the floor. So you're going to start to activate your core here. You're activating your abdominal musculature that wraps all around your middle. Think of drawing it all downward. Okay, so try to keep that. Keep your grounded shoulder blade feeling. And we're just going to bring the knees up. Go ahead and bend your knees, bring them up over your hips. And then if it feels okay, think about lifting your head and shoulders, kind of peeling them up off the floor. Okay? And then we're going to reach forward with the right arm while we extend the left leg. So you think of reaching for the front of the mat. And then bring that all back where it was before, okay? Now we're reaching forward with the left arm and the right leg, hovering, reaching long. And then bring it back to center. And so keep breathing, please, and just move side to side like this. If it's too much for your neck, you can do this with your head on the floor And it's the same thing, just more gentle. So choose which option works best for you. But do breathe deeply and activate your core here. Think of all the arms and legs being connected at a central point somewhere behind your belly button, okay? Kind of an energetic connection there. Keep breathing. Let yourself get warm here. Okay, I like to exhale when I extend and inhale when I bring the movement back in. But you play around with that. Let's do 3 more on each side. And 3. 2 more. Feel free to drop your head if you need a break. Last one, okay? Nice. Bring that back into center. Drop your head back to the floor. Bring your knees in close. And maybe grab your knees, kind of rolling your knees side to side in circles. Allowing your back to get massaged on the floor. Roll it around the other way a few times. All right, let's bring it back to center. Hands behind knees here. Let's tuck and rock and roll a few times. So I like to rock up and try to balance on the sitting bones, and you can use your toes to do that. Roll down, and then try that a few times. Rock it up and balance. Roll down. Maybe 3 more. See if you could roll extra slowly to get a great back massage experience on the way. And I'll meet you up in your next balancing on your sitting bones, boat pose, okay? Let's hang here for a little bit. So remember that you can drop your toes, and you can also drop your fingers behind you. So you can always have support if you need it. But your spine and your femurs are pretty much in the same position. So take some time here, just breathing, lifting long through your spine. Like your top of your head is pulled upward by a string. Keep a little tuck in your belly button, pulling it backward, and a little tuck of your tailbone, pointing it forward. So your spine feels extra long and neutral. Now I want to challenge you here to see if maybe you could let go of one leg and reach forward. Now you can do this with your feet on the ground maybe, okay, as a modification. Let go of the other leg or other hand, okay, reaching forward with 2 hands. And then try this, try extending one knee. Now maybe you put your hands on the floor if you want to extend one knee. You can use that as a mod. And maybe you try extending the other. So wherever you are, whatever your boat pose looks like, extend through your arms and legs. Take one more big breath here. And then let it go. See if you can come down in slow motion, drop your feet, drop your hands behind you. And let's take a few windshield wipers of the legs here. Okay, got some nice core warmth here with boat pose. Your abdominals should be feeling nice and warm as well. Okay, friends, next time your knees point out to the side, just pause there and then allow yourself to flip all the way over to hands and knees. Let's get some cat-cows. So spread your fingers wide, please. Both pointer fingers point straight out ahead of you. And with your elbows pulling in slightly, grip the mat. Pull your heart between your arms for an inhale into a cow posture. So you're lifting that heart. With your exhale, push the floor, lift your belly. Maybe drop your head here. It feels nice to kind of shake it out. So let's take a few more cat-cows, please. Think of really pulling the heart forward as you inhale into an arched spine. And push the floor down as you exhale into a rounded spine. Really find how rounded you want your spine to be, how arched, and play with the limits of these two movements. Add some little side to side, spiraling. I want you to really experience the articulation of your spine and all the little rib bones, okay, moving with each other. Okay, next time you roll your heart forward, you're in a cow pose. Okay, your spine is arched. Pause here and breathe. Keep the elbows moving inward, pulling the heart forward. Keep breathing. See if you could lift your belly button in towards your spine so that this arch moves into your upper back. One more big breath here. And then we're going to press it in the opposite direction. Exhale, push the floor down, round into your cat pose, your rounded spine. Now please pause here. Maybe even really push the floor as you breathe. Really push it, I mean. And perhaps if it feels good, you can walk your knees further in towards your hands and get a nice rounded spine, stretching out all the little bits in your back. Keep breathing here. One more nice breath. And then release that. Find a nice flat back. Okay, see if you can feel a little extra long in your spine after we stretched your back out so nicely. From here, tuck your toes, and we'll come up and back to a downward facing dog. Lifting your hips. Think of dropping your heels down to the earth. And you can really let your let your head hang. Okay, maybe give your head a really nice shake. Yes. Letting it truly be soft on your neck. And then give it a nice no. So think of soft in the neck. Allow your shoulder blades to slide down your back here, almost as if you're trying to move your elbows closer to each other. And you can really walk your heels out here. We'll just take another big breath here, and we'll come back to it. But for now, as you exhale, walk to your hands. Bend your knees very generously, and just fold. Shake your head, yes and no. And let's do a little rocking side to side. Bend into one knee, bend into the other. Bend, bend. Okay, and if your hands are still like scrambling for the floor, then just bend your knees more. You can bend your knees a lot here, okay? The idea is you want your spine to be able to hang, okay? You want to be tractioning out your spine. So from here, we're going to start to rock forward and back. So you're going to need your hands on the floor. So rock onto your toes, rock into your heels. Heels and toes. Okay, warming up the muscles in your feet, in your calves, and your legs. And then rock forward onto your tippy toes. And go ahead and sit your hips down on your heels. Okay, so you're now balanced on your tippy toes. And I'm going to turn slightly to face you, but we are in the same position still. Okay, so shimmy your feet until they're as close together or as far apart as you like them. And with your fingers underneath your shoulders here, start to drop your knees and pull them back and find a nice equilibrium where you could begin to sit on your heels a little more comfortably, okay? So if this is painful for your toes, you can always take a break, but try to find a way so that it's manageable. And then maybe you pick one set of fingertips up and put it on your leg. And then you're balancing with just your toes and your fingers on one hand. And then you can try switching sides. Okay, so you just maybe work up to balancing on your feet. Okay, maybe you feel pretty confident putting both hands on your feet and just balancing on your, both hands on your knees, balancing on your tippy toes. And then you can kind of play around with it, starting to sit up nice and tall. Think of squeezing your legs together, okay? Really strong pushing down, feeling in your legs, and maybe your arms even grow up overhead. So do play here. You feel free to use your fingertips next to you, okay? Those are nice balancing tools. But wherever you are, in your toe stand, take one more big breath in. And then we're going to let it go. So exhale here, bring your hands back to the floor, and you're going to press back up into your forward fold. Legs should be feeling good about that. Shake it up. Okay, from your toe stand in your forward fold, feeling some nice opening in the backs of your legs, we'll start to roll it up. So press into your heels here as you inhale and roll yourself all the way up to standing. Reach up tall here. Think of lifting your heart up toward the ceiling. Okay, as you exhale here, we're going to drop down into a chair posture. So drop your hips, pull your knees together slightly, and think of wanting to lift your heart up as the tailbone goes down. So breathe here. I like to pretend like I'm holding a basketball up over my head and trying to give it to someone behind me. So long neck and breathe. Think about having a squeeze between your knees here. And let your legs get warm for 3 more breaths. If you need to get out, just lift your hips, okay? If you like the challenge, drop your hips lower. 2 more breaths, long and slow. Maybe gaze up at the basketball in your hands. 1 more breath. Nice. Inhale here. Come all the way up and out. Lift that heart again. And exhale, hinging at your hips. Let's fold it all the way down. Halfway up on your inhale, looking forward. And exhale here. Take another nice fold. Go ahead and hug your legs towards you. Okay, palms on the floor here. I'll turn back so we're facing in the same direction. And we'll step it back to a plank. Both feet step back. Now remember, you can use your knees in a plank or not. Even one knee sometimes is a nice helper. Okay, and then exhale, press it back to your downward facing dog. Walk it out here. Okay, think of pressing your heels down. Okay, definitely feeling open in the backs of the legs. So here we go, friends. We're going to lift the right leg up and out behind. Get it up and out. Big breath in, send it nice and high. And with your exhale, send that right knee forward and drop the foot between your hands. We can drop the left knee here, so the back knee comes down. And if you come up on your fingertips, it'll give you a lot of space to find a nice, comfortable lunge to sink down into. So feel free to rearrange the left knee and put it in a better place. At any point, maybe even pad the floor underneath it extra special. And then you'll start to engage your legs. So you'll start to resist the floor just a little bit. So give it a little bit of push down. And then start to pull your legs inward toward each other, like you wanted to snap your knees together. So find that activation and then hold that. We're going to use the right knee to press up to a lunge. So first we activated our base, and now we can come up and use it. So reach up tall. Inhale, your arms are up wide here. Think of that basketball, okay? Okay, as you exhale, draw your shoulder blades down your back. You're going to cactus your arms and drop them. Maybe you want to lift your sternum while you do that. Keep your legs strong. We'll do it again. Inhale, reach up. Think of grabbing that basketball, sending it back. Exhale, cactus arms, drop down your back. One more time. Big breath in. Big exhale. And hold it here. Think of just peeling open your chest, lifting your heart and shoulders. Option to join your hands behind you and maybe move your hands back away from you. Keep the legs strong. 3 more breaths. Big heart. 2 more breaths. Last one. And then from here, just bring your hands down underneath your shoulders, inside that right foot. Okay, we got the legs nice and warm with that lunge, okay, activating against the floor. So start to rock the hips forward and back here. Just feeling the back of the right leg. Should feel nice and warm. Okay, next time you rock forward onto that right foot, press a little extra into your left hand and tuck the left toes behind you. We're gonna reach up with the right hand and think of peeling open the chest. Okay, facing out to the right. Okay, and I'll spin around to face you. Okay, so from here, we want a nice active leg. So keep the legs strong, pressing down, okay, and pulling in toward each other. And then we have option here to tuck the back toe and hover the back knee. And in this case, if you've lifted the back knee, you want to think of lifting the left hip, but dropping the right hip. So deepening that lunge. Okay, wherever you are, knee up or knee down, your spine is long and both arms are active. Feel free to look wherever you like, even up. One more breath here. And then as you're ready, whether you have the back knee up or down, first just pick up your right toes and pivot them to point out to the right. So you roll onto the outer edge of your right foot. And then also see if you could find a way to roll into the outer edge of your left foot with the ankle flexed as well. So both ankles are flexed, all the toes point out to the right, okay? And you're on the side of each foot. And so you have a nice stretch along the outside of the right thigh here. Feel free to drop the left knee. Okay, so what we're gonna do is play around with extending the right leg, lifting the hips, and dropping the hips as we bend the right leg. So play around with that. You can add a shoulder movement. Inhaling, arm goes up overhead. Exhaling, arm reaches for the back of the mat. Okay, right arm moving. So take a few more breaths here. I want you to feel a great stretch along the outside of your right leg and your left, okay? Both sides. Few more breaths here. 3, 2, 1 more. Okay, this time drop that right hand back underneath your right shoulder. We're gonna spin it back around to a lunge. So the right toes will come back to the floor. The left heel is back up off the floor. And let's see if we could bring it up to a 3-leg dog from here. So from here, pick the left leg up, send it all the way up and out behind you. Big breath in, 3-leg dog. And exhale, drop that right foot next to the left. Walk out the heels for a moment. Back in downward facing dog, just checking out the backs of the legs. How do the shoulders feel? And we'll take a little tiny vinyasa in between, okay? Feel free to come along, or you can always take a break where we'll meet back in down dog. So here we go. Inhaling here, move your heart forward, find a long plank shape, and remember your plank can have knees on the floor. With your exhale, walk to your hands and fold. You can bend your knees generously. Roll it up as you inhale. Think of lifting and stacking your spine. Exhale here, drop it into a chair posture. Remember this one, knees together, heart up, tailbone down. Inhale to stand, heart up. Exhale to hinge at your hips, folding, maybe bend your knees. Halfway up on your inhale, On your exhale, big fold. Palms are down. Inhaling here, step it back to plank. And with your exhale, lower yourself slowly all the way down. Think of scraping your elbows, maybe using your knees. For your inhale, grab the mat and pull your heart up and forward. Low vinyasa, lifting that cobra heart. And exhaling, tuck your toes. You can come up through hands and knees here, or you can plank it up to downward facing dog, and I'll meet you there. Walk it out. Walk out your heels, close your eyes, shake your head. A few more breaths here. Start to think of pressing out through your hands and pulling back through your feet here. Really activating this posture. Think of taking up all the corners of your body right now. Pull the elbows in slightly, suction cup your hands up in the middle, and lift those kneecaps. All right, here we go. Same journey on the other side. Let's see what it's like. Inhaling here, let's get the left leg up and out behind. Exhale here, draw that left knee forward and drop the foot between your hands. We'll drop the back knee, the right knee, up on your fingertips here. Gives you some nice space. And just take some time arranging your lunge to feel just right. Sometimes a few little tweaks at the right spot. For example, moving the right knee to the right or to the left, forward or back, maybe patting it. Make it feel great. And then activate those legs, pressing downward into the floor, pulling inward toward each other. So we have the legs on and the hips on as well. And then we want to come up. So much better once we get that stable base in any kind of standing posture. Strong legs, arms up, okay? In your low lunge, just using the breath and the time and the posture to allow the legs to get warm. Lift that heart. Send your basketball to someone behind you. And then we'll start to breathe and move. So finding that cactus shape. So we're inhaling long in this low lunge and exhaling, cactus your arms, drive them down your back. Think of lifting your heart up. And then again, inhale, long, low lunge arms. Exhale, cactus arms, pull them down. Keep your legs strong. One more time. Inhale, long arms. Exhale, cactus. And then hold here with your cactus arms, peeling your chest up and open. You have the option to join your hands behind you and move them back. But you want a strong belly button moving in. Keep breathing. Think of dropping the shoulder blades and lifting that sternum. Last breath here, okay? All right, let that go. Go ahead and drop your right hand under your right shoulder. And we'll find a nice little twist from here. So make sure that your lunge is still comfy, and then reach up with your left hand. And we'll pause here, house spin around to face you. Okay, breathe here. Taking some time to peel open your chest. Maybe you cactus the top arm, who knows? But both elbows are slightly bent at least, and both shoulders are active. So keep your upper body on the clock, please. And you have the option to intensify your lunge if you like by lifting the back knee. So if you lift the back knee, then you need to drop the front hip, the left hip. Breathe here, finding a big twist shape. Think of breathing into the top, the left set of ribs. One more breath here. Your spine is longer than when you started. And then from here, take some time to allow yourself to transition into this horizon lunge that we practiced on the other side. So pick up the left toes and point them to the left, and feel free to adjust your feet. So you want to start rolling onto the outer edge of your left foot. And then find a way to roll onto the outer edge of your right foot, possibly just dropping your right knee. Okay, that's also fine if you want to do this with your right knee down. So get into your horizon lunge and then start lining your feet up. All the toes point to the left. And then you're ready. Okay, once you've got yourself nice and lined up, you can start extending the left leg to lift your hips and bending the left leg to drop your hips. And you can add in that left arm sweeping movement. So just play with that movement for a while. It should feel really good. It should never feel bad. Okay, I think it's a really nice stretch along the outer right hip and the left. So see if you can find some nice hip opening here. Let's do it 3 more times. Big left side stretch, big right side stretch. 2 more. Last one. Okay, allow that left hand to come down. Okay, back to your lunge. So we're gonna pivot back onto the right toes and the left foot. And let's see if we could come up to 3-leg dog from here with the left leg out. Inhale, send that leg up and out behind. Nice and long, and then exhale here. Drop that left foot. Back to downward facing dog. Walk it out here. Okay, notice the back of the legs again. Down dog is a great posture just to notice changes over time. I find it's like a clean palette. Okay, friends, we'll take another little vinyasa here. So as always, you have the option to just take a break and we'll meet back in down dog. So here we go. Inhaling here, heart moving forward to plank. Exhale, walk to your hands and fold. Roll it up on your inhale. Lift your heart. Exhale to sit down into your chair squat. Tailbone underneath you, heart up. Inhale to stand, lift that heart. Exhale to hinge at your hips. Halfway up on your inhale, looking forward. And exhale, fold, hug your legs. Palms are down. Inhaling back to your plank. You can use your knees or not. Okay, for your exhale, lower yourself all the way down. Scrape your elbows on your ribs. Inhale, little cobra. Heart pulls up and forward. Think of pulling up. And exhale. Come up to a downward facing dog. Let's take 5 or 6 breaths here, friends. Walk it out. Shake it out. See if you could activate this downward facing dog with all the cues, okay, that you've internalized. Lifting your kneecaps, dropping your heels. Okay, pointing the tailbone away from the top of your head and vice versa. Okay, draw the elbows inward and push the mat with everything that is on your mat. Okay, down dog. It's a pretty challenging posture, so feel free to always bend your knees more, take breaks on your knees, and don't get discouraged if it feels different day to day. All right, friends, from here, just drop down to your knees. Come on down. And let's do a little wrist stretch, okay? We did a lot on our hands today. So we want to flip the palm up. So your fingers will point back at you, like you wanted to. Okay, point your fingers at your knees, and maybe one hand is good, maybe 2 hands is good as well. But you'll start to roll on your hands side to side, Okay, just some good old-fashioned wrist care. Okay, make a fist, roll over your fist. And then we want to do the other side. So flip your hands palm down, fingers pointing at you. And spread your fingers wide here. We're going to roll and peel the hands back and forward. It should feel really good. It should never hurt. Okay. Go ahead and shake them out. Good to take care of those wrists. From here, let's just sit to one side and take the right leg out in front. And we'll have the left foot with the knee bent, stepping on your right thigh. And we want to activate the legs here. So sit up nice and tall. And sometimes just having your fingers down on the floor beside you is really helpful if you want to feel extra tall. So you can try that. Extend out through the right leg, like you wanted to push something away from you with it, but like you also wanted to pull the toes back towards your hip, and keep that, okay? Also press down with the left leg, okay? So the left outer hip is engaged. So the legs are actively pressing down, they're active and strong, and you can lengthen that spine here. Perhaps it feels okay to start walking your fingertips toward your right foot. So you don't really have to go very far, and we'll take some time here, so don't feel rushed. But I want you to think about your hands being just about under your shoulders. Your legs remain active. Hold here and breathe. Think about lengthening your spine outward towards your toes with every inhale. With your exhales, push down on the floor. Push into your hips, push into your legs. And let's take 5 or 6 long, slow breaths here with that same inhale, lengthening spine. Exhale, strong in the legs, pushing down. So you may stay up on your hands here, and that might be quite enough. You're looking for a nice opening, release across the back of your body. It could be anywhere from your back all the way down to the back of your right leg. You may decide you want to come down to your elbows and just drop your head. This will be different for everyone, and it'll be different on the day. But no matter where you are, keep your longest spine, okay? Two more breaths here. As you're ready, start to walk yourself up out of this. Take your time. Okay, we're pressing down into that left knee here. So press down into the left knee and then drop your left hand out to the left here so that it could be supportive. And we'll use the left hand, left knee, and right foot to press up to a supported side plank. So just push the floor away from you here and take some time to arrange yourself so that the left hand, the left knee, and the right foot are all in a nice line. Okay, it just feels a lot nicer that way. And you can reach out with that right arm and then over your head to the left, getting a great side stretch. And breathe into that whole right side of your body. So while you're here, you might look at the floor and push the floor down with your grounded arm and leg. So really push it down. Think of pulling your belly button into your spine. So you're really contracting your left side, allowing a lot of freedom and spaciousness to roll into your right. Maybe one more breath here. Push that floor. Allow yourself to roll it back down to the seat where you were before. One more thing on this side, I just want to twist. So let's drop the left foot to the floor. You can pick your knee up and point it up. And then use your right arm to hold your left knee. Just hug it close to you. Feels nice on the outside of the left hip. So start to look over your left shoulder. Use your left fingers behind you to push the floor away. Make your spine a little longer. The top of your head lifts. Breathe here. Enjoy the twist. Feel all the tissues of your torso and your back getting massaged. If you want a little more, you can take the right elbow to the outside of the left knee, okay, but keep strong with your hips pressing down. One more big breath into your chest. One last big exhale in your belly. And then roll it out. If you lean back on your hands here, you can make some windshield wipers out of your legs and just take them side to side. Okay, so we're gonna do that on the other side now. So pause here, sit up nice and tall, and extend the left leg now. The right foot will be the one that steps in onto the left inner thigh. And I'll spin around to give you a better visual for that if you need it. So you can use your fingers beside you to make yourself extra tall. We're gonna want a lot of length in the spine to do this. So start to activate your legs. I want them to be on. Doesn't have to be 100% of your strength. Just give it maybe 5 to 10. It'll make a big difference. So extend through the left leg like you wanted to push something away from you, but also you're pulling the toes back to you. So feel how strong your leg is from that. Also, the right leg is pushing the floor. So feel your right outer hip. The legs are on. Now we can fold. So think of your inhales as lengthening your spine. Think of your exhales, just push the floor down with your legs. And we'll take some time here. Hands under shoulders, so your upper body is supported. And just keep in mind that no matter how far forward you fold, or no matter where your upper body is in this posture, it should feel good on the back of your body all the time. You can hang down your head and drop to your elbows if you like, but keep that long neck. Keep the active legs. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, strong legs. All right, take one more big breath into the back side of your body, running all the way up the back of your left leg, your low back, maybe even to the base of your skull, you feel it. And then start to peel yourself back up. There's no rush. Take your time. Okay, once you are up, we're transitioning to a supported side plank. So look at where your left foot and your right knee are, and then put your right hand in line with those out to the right. And then you have a supported side plank you can press up into and reach up with that left hand. Okay, take a moment to make it right. I always have to fidget to make mine just right. So once you get there, start to reach that left hand up and overhead and start to open up that left side. So you can make this really gentle and passive, even if you just want to be here. You don't even really have to work very hard, okay? And it just opens up the left side. However, the more activation you apply to the floor, Okay, the more you press into that floor with the right side, okay, pulling the belly button into your spine, the more length and expansion you can experience on the left. So keep that in mind and use that to your advantage. Big breath into the side body. Think of always pointing your tailbone at your left toes. You're tucking it. One more breath here. And let's come back out of that. Go ahead and drop your hips back down to where you were before. And now we just have the twist on this side. So point the right knee up. We're stamping the foot on the floor next to the hips. And make sure you're nice and tall. Your legs are still active. Your left arm now holds your right leg. Okay, and give it a nice squeeze in so you already feel the right outer hip release. Right fingers behind you. Make your spine taller. And enjoy this twist as you look out over that right shoulder. Finding a long spine on your inhale. And pressing the floor down on your exhale. Okay, the bigger movement in your rib cage and your belly, the better. One more breath. All right, roll that back into center. Drop back on your hands here. Let's take some more windshield wipers. Notice how your hips are feeling, your back should be feeling nice. Okay, from here, if you sit up and put your bottom of your feet together and drop your knees out away from each other, then you can make kind of a diamond shape with your legs. All right, so you can choose any kind of diamond shape. You can choose a long skinny diamond or a more square diamond. And then just make it feel just right. I like to make more of a square, okay? But some people want their feet out a little further. So kind of feel that out. And then when you feel pretty good about settling into your Baddha Konasana, your bound angle pose, drop your fingers beside you and just make your long spine. Maybe close your eyes. And we'll fold again, okay? This time, just like we did before, slowly draping the whole spine forward while trying to keep it as long as possible. So you might start to walk your fingers forward as you lengthen that spine with each inhale, forward towards your toes. As you exhale, you're pushing the floor down with your legs. Your legs are resisting the floor. So your fingers might start to walk forward. You might want to start to drop your head. Just make it feel just right. Now you can stay upright here, or you can fold. It's really very personal. Okay, you may even eventually find yourself dropping to your elbows. I want you to keep pushing down into the floor. It's important to activate your legs a little bit. So use the feet to press down. Think of drawing your knees downward. And breathe into the low back. All the parts of your back. Make sure the neck is long as you can make it. Okay, we're going to take one more long, slow breath here. So take your time, enjoy it, and then I want to come out really slowly. So just letting you know you have time. Okay, start to come out slowly. Think of coming back in the same order that you came in. Doing your best to lengthen your spine even as you exit this posture. Okay, all the way up to your seated position. When you lean back on your hands, you can bring your knees together, still in a little nice bend, okay? Knees together. And then you can just roll yourself all the way back. Okay, take some windshield wipers here. Shake it out. Hey, you might have gotten some pops in your low back after that. Okay, allow your legs to slow down. Allow yourself to find stillness in your Shavasana, arms and legs long. Think of spreading yourself out and then giving your shoulder blades maybe a little tuck underneath your ribs so the heart feels big. Put a little tuck in your chin, smile on your face. Let the jaw drop open. Let your whole face and scalp melt into softness. And allow your breath and your body to be very soft and easy and effortless as well. Dropping into your most natural state of being right now. Notice everything about this moment. Notice how your skin feels on the mat. Notice how the air feels on your skin. Notice the particular quality of sound in the room that you're in. Everything. Allow all these little details to be a part of your participation with this one moment. Showing up and being present for yourself. Notice any tension that could have possibly remained draining out of your body, into the floor, back into the earth. If your thoughts get distracting, you can always just say, "Oh, I was thinking," and get back to noticing your breath. So please keep resting just like this for as long as you can, and the longer the better. If you can take a nap, this would be a great time. This is where I'll leave you for our practice today. Thanks so much for joining me.